All right, so we got William and Mary from ECU. They're 26 and 27 years old, and they make $80K a year together. They got $67,000 in student loans. They got $8K in credit card debt. They got $60,000 in car loans, and that's about $1,200 a month, right? So how are we going to help these two individuals, right? And if you don't know who I am, I'm Nate, and I'm a life coach. If you're interested in life coaching, make sure you hit me up in the DM, click the link in the bio, and go sign up. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on mindset training, right? Mindset training, I use what's called affirmations to do that, right? If you don't have affirmations, you can pick those up for free in the link in the bio, right? That's how important I think affirmations and mindset training is. I give it away for free, 100%. You don't even have to put your name down for that. Like, you can just use my affirmations if you want, right? So, but I'm gonna do affirmations for them 3 times a day, right? Because you have to overcome the training the world has given you the past 26, 27 years, right? Because the world has made you think a certain way, and the actual game is played a different way, right? That's why you're struggling. That's why you're not successful, is because you don't know the real rules of the game, right? And has to be trained back into your mind 3 times a day, right? Number 2, we're gonna do what I call habit training, right? So Mary wakes up at 8 a.m. We're gonna have her start waking up at 6:30 a.m. William wakes up at 6 a.m. to go to work. We're going to start waking up at 4:30 a.m. to go to work, right? And we're going to use this time to increase their skill set, right? But this is part of their habits. What time do you wake up, right? And the thing we're going to have them working on, number 1, you read your affirmations, right? But then number 2 is you're going to be doing investing training, right? Because, and I'll talk more about investing later, but you wake up early, not just to wake up early and just to be up scrolling social media. You wake up early to increase your skill set, right? And so in this case, I got them doing investing training, right? So what's the problem here? What's the problem with their situation, right? They're making $80K, and they got student loan debt, they got credit card debt, they got car payments, right? And that's not including the rent, the housing, food, all that kind of stuff, right? So basically it feels like, with the debt, you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? So number 1, I'm going to have them go fix their W-9, right? And so a lot of times, or look at their paycheck stubs and fix their W-9 and figure out where they paying too much money into, right? Because so if you're a person that every year you get a $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 check back when you file your taxes, that means you're paying in too many taxes every year, right? You could be using that money during the year to do other things, right? So that's why you would mess with your W-9 if you needed to, right? So I got them fixing their W-9. That's automatic extra money in your pocket, right? So instead of you bringing home $50,000 a year, you're bringing home $60,000, an extra 10 grand a year, right? You think your situation would be better with an extra 10 grand a year? Absolutely it would, right? So what else is going on here? Well, they both have car payments, right? So there's only one real solution to this, and that's to get rid of one of the cars, right? And replace it with a beater car. What I call beater cars are old cars that still run great, but they don't have the bells and whistles of the newer cars, right? So, for me as an example, we have 3 beater cars, right? So if one needs to go into the shop, which is obviously a lot less than a car payment, right? These beater cars, they might, so say, say you're having a $500 or $600 or $700 car payment, we'll go $500 to make it easier. That's $6,000 a year. If I'm spending $2,000 a year on the beater car, that's $4,000 I'm saving every year, right? right? And that's 4,000 that can go to something else, right? So that's the idea. The idea is to replace one of those cars, one of those vehicles. So you keep one new one, right? Because, you know, maybe you got kids, or, you know, maybe you want to ride around in something that's a little bit nicer on the weekends, whatever, you need to go take a trip, that kind of thing. Well, you keep one newer one, whichever one's the newest or nicest, you know, it'd be up to you. But you sell the other one, get rid of it. Use the extra money that you got from your W-9 to, if you're underwater in the car, get rid of the car, and you're going to replace it with a beater car. All right, and that beater car, like I say, we have 3 beater cars, so if one goes down, we still have 2 cars, but in this case, just one beater car for now. All right, and we're going to use that extra money to pay down our credit card debt, right? To pay down the credit card debt. Got 8K in credit card debt. Credit card debt's at 20+%. So you choose the lowest credit card that you have, and you start paying them off, right? You never want to carry a credit card balance. You want to always pay the credit cards off every month. Now, I personally would tell them to credit card hack, right, to get extra money, right? You can get the, you know, I'm not affiliated with any of these brands, but Capital One, Citi, Bank of America has a cashback card, right? So there's cashback cards out there that you can earn cash back. So you can earn money that's tax-free money every month. So you get an extra $200 or $300 a month using those credit cards and paying them off every month. It makes sense, right? Obviously, we live in a world where we don't really use that much cash anymore. And that being the case, you know, that's just how the world works now, right? So if you're worried about what they always say is that you spend more when you swipe, obviously we're going to get rid of that kind of stuff, right? We're going to get rid of swiping in general. We just swipe for bills, right? So, all right. So number 3, so they're paying on their student loans, and we're going to put that into forbearance, right? So right now we're in a situation where, you know, we have debt, right? We're not making enough money to cover our debt. So we're going to put our stuff into forbearance. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months, but whatever amount of time it takes to get you ahead on those student loans, right? $67,000 is really not that much in student loans for 2 degrees, in my opinion. But, you know, and I won't go into what you should do with student loans before that, but put them into forbearance, put them into deferment, whatever it is. Don't pay them currently, and use the money to pay off the credit cards, right? Get the payments out of the way, or use the money to pay down the rest of the car loan that you just got rid of, right? So now we got them, we're making more money, we got them spending less money. So what are we going to do with this extra money, right? Number 1, we're going to have them calculate their financial freedom number, right? So their goal is to go to financial freedom and to be able to start a family, right? 26, 27 years old, graduated from ECU, East Carolina University. That's what we want them to do, right? We want them to be able to get their path to financial freedom. So we're going to have them calculate their financial freedom number based on where they want to be, right? So right now they don't own a home, so we got to get them to owning a home, what that number would be. So that number could be higher now because interest rates are higher, right? So, you know, when we do the math on this stuff, we got to keep that in mind. But we get them with their financial freedom number, let's just say it's 2.5 million. We're going to use other people's labor to get us to that number, right? I personally, because they have student loans is going to keep you from purchasing a home, right? It is what it is. Obviously, if you go and try to get one, and they are willing to loan you the money, you get one, right? You do the best you can to find a nice home that you can live in for the next 10 to 20 years, right? 10 minimum, right? Probably, but you're going to calculate that financial freedom number, and we're going to, like I say earlier, we used them waking up early to increase their skill set. The skill set they're working on is investing, right? So this is what I do. I'm a life coach. This is how I navigate what people's situations are and try to get them to the goals that they want to be at, right? They want to be a family that's financially free. They want to be a family that has children, so we want to get them to that position to be able to do that, right? You do that by increasing your mindset, your skill set, and your habits, right? So that's what I do. If you need help setting stuff like this up for yourself, make sure you click that link, sign up for life coaching, follow me, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram, and say keep watching these videos, like this video if you liked it, share this video with somebody that needs it. If you know somebody in this situation that could use this help, make sure you share it with them. I'm Nate, I'm your life coach, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.